So we're now live on Facebook. We're going to give it a couple of seconds to get started. There is a lag on Facebook, guys. So just so you know, there is a lag on Facebook. So whatever you say is not going to line up on Zoom as it will on Facebook. You're also, if you're watching Facebook Live and you're one of the panelists, you're going to want to turn that instrument, that device down, the volume down, so that we don't get the reverb of listening to you talk on Facebook Live and as well as Zoom. If you're just now tuning in, we've got Chef Tracy Vincent. Hey, Chef, what's going on? She's going to talk to us about healthy living. We've got the family from Tankproof on. We had Southern Kofi on. I'm guessing he's going to jump back on. We'll give him a couple minutes. We still got 5 minutes to play around before we hop on. And then Brian Haldane, who you cannot see on Facebook Live, is the production brains behind this. Brian is at the radio station helping us. So, hey guys, how's it going?
Excellent.
Good.
Excellent.
So Savannah was the one from Tankproof that I initially talked to, but you guys have a friend at Walk-Ons that was on the show last week. And she heard me say that if there was somebody that out there that needed to be on the show, to let me know. And she proactively said, hey, you need to have these guys on the show.
Well, we're happy to be here, man. We're just so grateful to be here.
Oh, no problem.
Definitely heard some good things.
Well, you know, it's so the whole idea behind the show, if you're just now tuning in, is that we try to have people from around the Baton Rouge community that are doing good stuff. And that's general, right? That's broad. That could be an entrepreneur. That could be someone who's getting us to eat healthy. Could be someone that is helping the disadvantaged get into an arena that they don't have a chance to get into otherwise. And then of course, here we go. Horatio's back. It's okay. It's all good. I have to have Horatio on, man. I am so excited about Southern Kofi. Hold on, Horatio. I'm gonna put you on as a panelist. Now, Horatio, the only thing you need to do is rename yourself to include the business after your name, like we've done. And you can start your video. But while you're not talking, just leave it on mute so that we don't get the reverb in the background. Okay. And then, guys, look, if you have headphones, like these lovely AirPods Pros, or anything of the nature of like that, please utilize them. The microphone does make a big difference. If you're tuning in on Facebook Live, I'm going to be keeping a track of the Facebook Live panel to see if you guys have any questions. If you have questions from the folks from Tankproof or Horatio from Southern Kofi or from Chef Tracy, let us know. Again, oh, dude. I have to get out there, man. I have to get to that coffee shop. I've heard nothing but good stuff. So hold on, let me mute this phone. All right. So we're going to start shortly. Brian Haldane is in the chat room, guys. Hey, how's it going?
What's going on?
Brian Haldane in the chat room. So you want to keep an eye on Brian. We'll do a 2-minute intro. Then Horatio goes up so he can get back to work. God bless him. And then we're going to do Chef Tracy talking about healthy eating. And then the second half of the show is Tankproof. Now, look, Tracy, you can stick around and enjoy the conversation if you want to. I know you're a busy gal. But we do this kind of Brady Bunch style. So if you've got a question for Horatio while we're talking about Southern Kofi, you can certainly tee one up. The only thing I ask is, because of the way the sound system is working, try not to talk over each other because it jams up. Zoom doesn't handle it well. That being said, if you're watching on Facebook Live and you love one or all of these guys, please, please, please share, tag and share them so that they can get maximum love. I want it to be a giant love fest on this thing. So we're going to be starting momentarily. Brian, whenever you're ready, I'll do the intro. Brian is the brains behind this. I'm just the voice. That's it. I mean, I find the guests. He wants to do a mic check, so I'll do mic check first. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Savannah, can you tee off?
1, 2, 3, 4.
like you've been in radio forever. All right, fellas, Truman Torrance.
Check. 1, 2.
Check.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Tracy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. Hold on. Horatio, you're gonna be the big guy here. You got this. Horatio's giving me that look on his face like, what did I sign up for? What did I sign up for? Take yourself off mute, Horatio, and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, check.
Brian, are we all good? Okay, so I'm going to give us a countdown. Whenever Brian tells me we're good to go, he's ready to roll, so I'll give you a countdown. Again, if you've got any other external advices going on, make sure they're on mute. You're the only one that gets a pass, Horatio. Next time, Horatio, you're going to be at the studio. You won't be at the coffee shop. Although, give us a panorama of the coffee shop right now, man. I want to see the coffee shop. Give us a little look.
Here we go. Is that a little
look at
podcast
that.
right here?
I love it.
Look
at this.
The old with the new, and hey,
awesome.
Man, we got everything going on here. All the lunch eats, man, fresh to go.
Well, don't give it all away. Save a little bit. Save a little bit for the episode. All right, hit the mute button. Hit the mute button. I'll get you in and out. Okay.
Fair. Sounds good.
All right. Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hit the mute button, Horatio. Hit the mute button. All right. Welcome to another episode of the Geaux Rouge Radio Show. This is your host, Franz Borchardt. We are on episode 60, season 2, episode 3. The Geaux Rouge Radio Show is a show that celebrates the best parts of Baton Rouge. Very grateful to be your host today. We are doing another Zoom episode just to be socially conscious with COVID-19. That allows us to have guests from all over the place. Before we jump into our episode, we need to thank our show sponsors. These are the businesses, the folks that make having a radio show / podcast possible. First and foremost, La Divina Italian Cafe, serving select wines, ice cold beer, plus their exclusive sorbet mimosa. The Borchardt Law Firm, a criminal defense firm. That happens to be my law firm. If you want more information about the law firm, go to www.borchartlawfirm.com or call us at 225-831-1465. Sullivan Steakhouse, your neighborhood steak restaurant. Breck Parks, NAI Ladder and Bloom Commercial Realtors. Those guys also have me hosting a commercial real estate podcast called The Real Disruptors. Stay tuned for more information on that. And last but not least, the Smith Shanklin Sosa Personal Injury Law Firm. These guys are your go-to personal injury lawyers. For more information about the Geaux Rouge Show, go to www.GeauxRouge, G-E-A-U-X, GeauxRouge.com. And look, if you think that there's a good show topic that we need to have on, a good person doing great things in Baton Rouge that maybe doesn't get the love that they deserve, email us at info at GeauxRouge.com. So this week on the Geaux Rouge Show, we've got a host of wonderful folks. We got a Horatio from Southern Kofe. We've got Chef Tracy. She's going to be talking to us about demystifying, debunking healthy food, making it something that we all love. Peas and carrots, Brussels sprouts, much, much more. Chef Tracy's also doing some great stuff at Red Stick Spice that we're going to talk about. And last but not least, in our second half, we're going to have the family from Tankproof. Man, oh man, guys, if you don't know about Tankproof, you are in for a treat. These guys are doing something amazing, and they've been doing it for over 10 years. So without further ado, without more foreplay, we're going to welcome in first Horatio Isadore. Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, Brands?
So you are sitting at your coffee shop, Southern Kofe. Talk to me, man. What is Southern Kofe? Tell me the story behind it, and where is it?
First of all, we're located in the heart of Scotland. We're unapologetically original. The word Cofe derives from the word coffee and cafe, and we combined them both. And so with that being said, we initially started out just a small coffee shop, man. We wanted to just do coffee things, baked goods, etc. But the community, and I've been in the business for about 20 years. The community was like, hey, we're looking for fresh fruit. We're looking for stuff that's going in our system. We want to know what's going on with that. Can we push this further? So we closed the shop down for about 3 weeks. I got with the chef that was in the vegan space. And from what you see now, guys, is what derived from that meeting. So basically, we offer the freshest, local, best that we can offer to customers. They can build their own smoothies, build their own salads. And so we just try to make it an experience. And someone told me about 2 weeks ago that it's more of a destination space because we don't have a lot of foot traffic in this area. We don't have a critical mass surrounding us. So it's really kind of a destination space. So I've kind of embraced that term of it as well. But for the most part, man, we're just trying to fight the good fight.
So help me out. How did you get in the coffee industry, Horatio? You said you've been here for over 20 years.
Originally, Fran, I went to Southern University and I moved back home with the company around 1995. That company was Foot Action USA, a shoe company. And so from that, I wrote a business plan in 1997 that I wanted to have a coffee shop at absolutely every SWAC school in that area in 1997. It didn't turn out that way. I ended up putting a coffee shop in my hometown of Alexandria in 2000. And from there, we had about a 15-year run. I gotten a call from someone that was at the law center at the university at Southern, because CC's used to be there and the contract ran out or what have you. And so we transitioned there. And I wanted to be in Baton Rouge. I wanted to be more involved in my community. And so from there, I transitioned out of my shops in Alexandria to be completely here in Baton Rouge. And after yeah, go ahead.
So the number one question that folks always ask coffee shops is, where do you get your coffee from? What am I drinking? Where's it coming from?
Man, initially we used to go with a company for years out of New Orleans called Try Me Coffee, and then Katrina happened. And so when I got here to Baton Rouge, my good friend, Mr. John of the, gotta use his coffee. Mr. John Melican, he passed away, but he started a coffee company, and he got me to using coffee here. And sometimes I use Community's coffee as well. They have a reserve brand that we'll use. But yeah, Mr. John was the guy who initially recruited me to start using a Baton Rouge coffee. So that's how we kind of got there.
So sounds like now you're much more than just a coffee shop. You were telling us earlier that you have fresh food, salad shakes. Talk to me about that transition. You said you shut down for 3 weeks. What's been the reception to you changing your model and expanding in that way?
Well, what happened also when we did do salads, we would just simply pre-do them and put them out in the refrigerator. What was happening at the end of the week, there was a lot of waste. So we were like, hey, and one day I ran out, believe it or not, on like a Tuesday. And a customer came in and said, Horatio, can you make me a salad? I said, well, we don't have any in the refrigerator. She said, well, you got some lettuce back there? I said, well, yeah. She said, I want some strawberries on. You got some strawberries? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, put this on there, make the salad. And so that young lady, she was a student at the law center, and she came to the shop that day. And from that conversation, I was like, it was just ingenious on her part. I was like, I should have been thought of this. So it cuts down on our waste. We make it fresh in front of the customer. So that was just an opportunity. That's how that particular project started with us, man.
So if I wanted to get more information, Horatio, about you guys, your menu, what's being served on a daily basis, what website or what social media page would I go to?
Instagram is our best friend. Instagram is like our, really our navigation in terms of who we are. It's our roadmap, really. Whether
Awesome.
We're setting up something on a weekly basis, say we're going hiking, we've started a hiking club, or whether we're going to say, okay, this is what our soup of the day is. We literally have everything on there, and we try to do it in unison in terms of where it tells a story. And so from that, we're able to say, if I'm setting up, say if I want to do a soup of the day, I'll simply go ahead and put some like raw potatoes up there. And then the next 30 minutes, I'll put something that you can add to it, and have some cheese and some bacon bits. And hey, the soup of the day is loaded baked potato. So we try to tell a story in the process of that, getting our customers' mouths wet for what we're offering on a daily basis, weekly basis, et cetera. So,
Well, I'm very excited about you guys being out there. Like you said, everybody has told me this is a destination spot. Additionally, the community seems to have embraced you guys tremendously. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, everywhere I turn, everybody's like, "Man, do you know Horatio? Do you know Horatio?"
Okay.
Why do you think? I got to ask. Why do you think that is?
Honestly, man, it's rare, and I didn't even realize, to be honest with you, friends, when I opened up in the community here, not in the law center, when I opened up in the community, a lot of people made a big deal that there was a Black-owned coffee shop, and I've been doing it for years. At this point, I'm like, I'm just a brother trying to make it through the day. But
Right.
as I realized, you understand too, back in Alexandria, my shops, 98% of my customer base was white. And so from that, coming here, I knew I wanted to be ingratiated in the community. I knew I wanted my customer base to look like. And so from that, they really took that as like a ode of, hey, this is something we can hang our hat on. And so I embraced it. And I look at it and I take it as a responsibility much more on a daily basis, man. And so for me to embrace that, I still haven't ran across a whole lot of people that look like me that own coffee shops. Now, granted, we still, throughout the country, I'll see, faces popping up and new shops popping up. But I mean, we started in 1999, 2000. So it's been a long ride for me. And sometimes I do get that I'm just one of the few in this space. But for me, man, I'm just trying to do good business and trying to live and survive and advance.
So I know you're busy, Horatio. Horatio actually is in real time working, guys. So unlike the rest of us who like shuts his law office down for 5 minutes, Horatio is hustling as he talks. Now look, if you want more info, not a problem. Look, thank you very much for joining us, Horatio. I know you need to roll. We definitely will have you back on, and I look forward to coming out and visiting your shop. If you want more information about Southern Kofi, you definitely need to go to their Instagram page. I will definitely make sure I give them some shout outs on the Geaux Rouge social media. Horatio, have a good day, my friend, and thank you for joining us.
Friends, thank you for everything. I just want to say a quick hello to Tracy, to the Thomas brothers. I know those guys, man. They've been doing it a long time, man.
Hey,
So big
Horatio.
ups in Savannah. Good luck on your endeavors, guys.
Bye-bye.
So from healthy coffee shops that mingle lunch and healthy eating to Chef Tracy Vincent. Hey, Chef, what's going on?
Hey, Franz. Hi, everybody. What can I say? It's a Tuesday afternoon. I'm just glad that I ran into you, that I could be a part of this. Thank you for thinking of me. I always love this type of conversation. I try to have them as often as possible to whoever wants to listen.
So I ran into Chef yesterday in a small little business in Mid-City called Red Stick Spice. If you don't know anything about Red Stick Spice, you can get great oils there. You can get balsamic vinegar. You obviously can get spices there. Yep. I love getting hot tea there. That is my number one jam. Don't tell Horatio I said that. So I ran into the chef and we got into a conversation about healthy eating, because that's kind of what you're into these days. And you made a comment that just didn't sit in right with me. You said, a lot of people are down on this whole healthy eating thing. And I'm like, well, let me tell you something. I got a radio show. So we're going to talk about healthy eating, because I am a person that has not only struggled with his weight his entire life. I was previously type 2 diabetic, and I was able to lose weight such that I'm not type 2 diabetic anymore. But it's still something I constantly struggle with, and I want to eat healthy, but I also want to eat well. So talk to me a little bit about what your mindset is on eating healthy, eating good foods. It's not just peas and carrots, right? I mean, it's peas and carrots, but not just peas and carrots.
No, I don't even think we're going to go into peas too much. It's kind of a polarizing, deal-breaking vegetable. You either love it or hate it, kind of like beets, However, I will say that I got to give you a little bit of background. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge. I have family from the Doosan, Rain area. So I know good food. I know boudin, I know cracklins, I know the fried seafood po' boys. So I will not lead your palate wrong. I think Franz and I are definitely fans of MJ's restaurant in Baton Rouge, where you can get superb vegan cuisine. I am a huge fan, embarrassing good fan of the chickpea cauliflower wrap. I have to eat it alone. I cannot be around people when I eat it. It's amazing.
Maybe some music, maybe dim the lights a little bit.
Maybe a little bit of radio turned low, but honestly, if you're trying to be interested in more plant-based eating, I'd say try MJ's. It's a way to kind of convert yourself over. And for the record, I am not vegan. I don't think I could ever be, because I like pork bacon a little bit, kind of grew up eating that. But at the same time, I've grown up with a mother who's a, retired health teacher. She made sure that we were very educated about what we put into our bodies, that we not only worked with healthcare professionals, but that we studied on our own about our bodies, what we put in it. And, little did I know that kind of trickling of information became who I am. Wellness found me. I would say in terms of finding, your way, your path into healthier eating means finding out who you are as a person. I don't think that you can even step into a better lifestyle until you recognize who you are, what your needs are, what your habits are, maybe even what your family disease history might be. In my family, I could have the full gambit. There's cancers, there's diabetes, diabetes for, youth diabetes, type 1 and type 2. So I have to be very careful. I wasn't always the most into fitness. I definitely didn't play sports growing up. I did some light dancing. So with that, as a young adult working in government, far away from home, I recognized that I was starting to get a little irritated from eating out. Just couldn't digest things. As you mature, sometimes your stomach is like, look, I don't like milk anymore. Or you're not going to be able to digest it. Or, hey, this meal was a little heavy. You're going to be up with indigestion. Go grab some Pepto-Bismol. So I noticed I had to start cooking for myself. And what I learned was I did a little bit better when I started cooking from scratch. So I hate to kind of break it to you, everybody, but in order to start your health journey, you might have to start making more meals on your own, not relying so much on takeout in restaurants. And a couple of generations ago, our families didn't eat out except for special occasions.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me there was a time where we didn't eat out at least once a day?
Like,
people don't do that?
That was not the pathology of America. Even though we had restaurants, very good restaurants, it was not our pattern to say, hey, let's go get this takeout. Let's go sit in this restaurant. That has become more, I'd say the last couple of generations has become kind of a normal for us to just not use our stoves. There are whole households where a stove is just, a kitchen is kind of like just where you keep things cold, frozen, and you don't use the stove much. But I've worked in restaurants. I am, definitely pro restaurant. I love restaurants. I hate that we can't go to them as often as we would like to right now. But, you're going to get exposed to very rich food, and you're going to get exposed to preservatives and chemical laden ingredients, and your body's, you put some things in your body that your body doesn't know what to do with, such as like margarine. It's going to kind of have some effects, maybe not immediately, like when you're young and strong, 20, 21, you can eat anything. It's down the road when you don't want to digest things like you used to, when, your body doesn't cooperate, when you wake up feeling like you're in pain and you're like, wait a minute, I slept 8 hours last night. What's going on? That's when you recognize your food as your medicine. So with that said, I believe everybody can cook. That is actually one of the slogans of Red Stick Spice Company, and most people should cook. You should try it on, even if it's not your favorite thing to do. When you go to the grocery store, most things in the produce section and like on the exterior walls of that grocery store are where you should live. Then once you start working into the interior parts of the restaurant, that's when you see stamps of expiration dates on things. And to be honest, food is good for 3 to 7 days after it's cooked. And you notice food is supposed to spoil. That's its pattern, So seafood, 3 to 4 days, it starts to turn. 7 days after you get food cooked, it starts to turn. So what's with 6 months, 2 year shelf life? We're not doing the MRE life, guys. We have to keep fresh food in our bodies. We have to rebuild our cells. Our liver rebuilds its entire cell life in 1 month. Is your liver made of McDonald's, or is your liver made of, chicken breast protein and broccoli and carrots? Like, what is it made of?
So we got about 5 minutes. We're talking to Chef Tracy. Look, Chef, I'm going to change gears a little bit. Give me a 3-minute crash course on if I want to start eating healthy.
Okay.
No fads, no dangerous diets. If I want to start eating healthy, give me a 3-minute crash course.
Okay. So first things first, I would think about what you could possibly, what's your lifestyle? Let's say you have to go to work for 6 a.m. Okay, that means that your breakfast has to be made the night before. You don't skip breakfast. And moreover, meal prep is for everybody. I think as Americans, we're so busy. You're going to have to spend at least a few hours, one day a week, setting up the whole week's worth of meals. It will not hurt. You can put on music, you can pour a glass of wine, just get it done. You'll thank me later. And it's not my idea. Meal prep is very, very old. When you go into the grocery store, look at all of the vegetables and fruits that are less than $2 a pound. That's where you kind of want to start because you want to save money too. That's broccoli crowns. Or even organic carrots are under $2 a pound. And you can just start with those two. Okay, so you got broccoli and carrots. We can skip the peas. You can use your oven, roast your carrots, 425 degrees for 20 minutes. Boom, you got a side dish. You can, put a whole chicken in the oven, put it on 350 for an hour and a half, done. So you got chicken and you got two vegetables. You can get a rice cooker, get some brown rice, set it and forget it. Meal prep. I've already told you how to set up your food for the next 7 days. So there's no excuse. You save money. You've probably spent all of $20 or $25 at the grocery store, even if you decide to buy all organic. You want to live, fancy, get a little shrimp, but with that said, it is in your reach to live healthy. You want to get into prevention with your health. You don't want to get on the other side of a condition and then hurry up and get on prescription medication and try to work with your doctor at that point to then try to get inflammation down. But inflammation is the cause of most chronic disease, and you want to keep the inflammation down. So that means, as much as I love a good filet mignon, I am not sustaining my life off of it. It is not what I eat every single day because it's going to inflame me. What's that mean? That means rashes, stomach aches, headaches, whatever. Your body's response to inflammation. If you got an old injury that gets all inflamed, you got arthritis. And arthritis is not for grandma anymore. It's for us too. It's for the young people. Yes,
so
sir.
Chef, before we go to break, we got a break in about a minute.
Sure.
Before we go to the break, if people want to get more information about you or Red Stick Spice, where would they go to get more information? Because you're teaching people how to be healthy.
Right. So you want to go to redstickspice.com. And for me, my website is under construction at this time. It's cheftraci.com, but you can always reach me on Facebook and Instagram at Chef Traci Vincent. That's TraciVincent. You can message me with questions like what we discussed here today. I'm happy to be about it.
Well, stick around, Chef. We're going to go to break, and we still continue the show between the show on Facebook Live. When we come back, guys, we're going to have Tankproof on talking about an amazing thing that's going on for the youth of our community. I want to hear all about it. Chef, thank you for joining us. We're going to hit our break, and we will be right back. All right, so we're on break now, but Chef, I want to talk more. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So you in fact offer, and I don't want to overstep my bounds here, Chef.
No, go ahead.
You in fact offer courses through Red Stick Spice, right?
Correct. And Milnek, the owner of Red Stick Spice, is the coordinator of all the classes. And so right now we're kind of slow just because of COVID. So we're offering classes to 10 people that live in the same pod, whether it's they work in the same office or the same household. And, we have a curriculum on the website that they can select, maybe even customize if they contact her directly and say they'd like to do something else specifically. Yeah, but I am one of her instructors, her course instructors. So I try to work that in, even if it's not a healthy eating course. I try to always educate people about like what they're putting in their body, what's available to them as a consumer. Because there's a lot of trust that goes into food. And, we don't really get to talk about that anymore. I've had people kind of give me the epiphany about that during COVID. They were like, look, I can't, I want to get a catered order from someone I can trust. And I was like, trust? And I said, oh, okay, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's a part of it. And, but things have just really, slowed down a bit.
but you've been in the industry long enough to know, and I won't name any restaurants.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly content eating the food that's on my plate, but some places I wouldn't want to see the food being made. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
And so what I do like about cooking at home is that I keep my eyes on my space, the cleanliness, the freshness. I will give you guys a shout out, and I do want to say this: if you go into Red Stick Spice and you see Chef Tracy or you see Ann, I have witnessed it myself and participated in it myself. You can tell the chef, or you can tell Miss Ann, hey, look, I want to do something different with fish. I'm tired of the same old fish. And I've watched you guys have a conversation about how to make it sexy, how to change it up. Sometimes from a healthy perspective, sometimes just from I don't want to have a chicken breast the same old way I have a chicken breast. And look, I eat way more chicken than I need to. But I appreciate, Chef, you being on today. Stick around. I definitely want you to stick around if you got a second. Again, what are those websites? Give us the websites again, Chef.
It's redstickspice.com. My website, which will be up and running soon, cheftracy.com. That's traci.com. And then, of course, in the interim, I'm on social media, on IG and Facebook fan page, Chef Tracy Vincent.
So look, guys, I just pulled the trigger on some avocado oil. It's a game changer. Listen to me. Avocado oil, if you haven't used it, it'll change your world. My little 5-year-old goes, it changes my universe. That's what he says. So we're gonna, if you're watching on Facebook Live, you're listening to the sweet sounds of Franz Borchardt. We have Chef Tracy. We've got the family from Tankproof. We've got Thurman, Torrence, and the gorgeous Savannah. We are going to be coming back very shortly as soon as Brian tells us that we can come back. And we're going to talk, in the second half, we're going to talk about swimming and how a couple of guys are doing, and a couple of folks are doing some stuff with swimming that is a wonderful community initiative. They've been doing it for over 10 years. We're going to talk to Tankproof for a little bit. We may talk back with Tracy. You and I may talk a little bit more about cooking, because I'm in a weight loss challenge with Brian Haldane.
Okay.
And I'm trying to eat green. I'm trying to be mean and green. And I've got to kick it up, man. I don't want to say
Brian, I warn you now, I'm on Team Franz. No, hey, I'm sorry. We should have met sooner, Brian, but
it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of fanboys. It's okay. He's good. So we're going to be going back in about 30 seconds. Let's all mute up and all good. We all need silver medals. Oh, hateful, Brian. Anyways, when we get back, we will do the intro and then we'll turn it over to Tankproof. Okay, so stand by. Brian, just let me know when I can do the intro. I'm going to count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome to the second segment of the Geaux Rouge radio show. You're listening to Franz Borchardt, your host of the Geaux Rouge show. The Geaux Rouge show celebrates the best parts of Baton Rouge, people, businesses, folks doing cool things. If you're tuning in, we had Horatio from Southern Kofe and Chef Tracy in the first segment. We are going to be starting up with a great segment with the folks from Tankproof. We may hear back from Chef Tracy before we're all set and done. The Geaux Rouge show is a weekly radio show on Talk 107.3 that airs on Saturdays at noon. But if you're watching now on Facebook Live, you're watching on the Geaux Rouge Facebook page. It's also a podcast. It's also on YouTube, and you can certainly watch on demand at www.geauxrouge.com or on the Talk 107.3 website. Before we launch into our second segment, we need to thank the sponsors that make the Geaux Rouge show possible. First, NAI Ladder and Blue Commercial Realtors, the Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa Personal Injury Law Firm. These guys are your go-to personal injury lawyers. Breck Parks, Sullivan Steakhouse, your neighborhood steak restaurant. By the way, if you're looking for a happy hour special, you need to hit Sullivan's. They have this drink called the Knockout. Oh, it's good. It's good. The Borkart Law Firm is one of the show sponsors. That's my lemonade stand. That's my criminal defense law firm. That's where I make my day job. This is all just fun. This radio thing is just fun. It's a side hustle. The real job, where the real sausage gets made, is the Borkart Law Firm. For more information about the firm, go to www.borkartlawfirm.com or call us at 225-831-1465. That's 225-831-1465. And last but not least, we appreciate our sponsor, La Divina Italian Cafe, open every day with their custom made from scratch breakfasts. Very, very good. I highly recommend the frittata omelet. It's so good. I get a veggie, chef, just so you can hear me say this. I get frittata veggie omelet. Get a little cheese in there too, but it's mainly veggie. So this half of the Geaux Rouge show, we welcome in Team Tankproof. Tankproof, we're welcoming in Truman, Torrence, and Savannah. Truman and Torrence are the co-founders of Tankproof, and Savannah is the director of community partnerships. Hey guys, what's going on?
Let's go. Hey guys, Thurman.
Hey, how's it
Thurman
going?
here.
All right, so let's jump in feet first. So last week, I had Tracy just asked me in the chat, whose omelet's better, La Divina or hers? Now, Tracy, I'm not supposed to say that on the air. You know, La Divina sponsors me. Why are you trying to start mess? Anyways, last week I had the team from Walk-Ons on, and one of our guests said, hey, you need to have Tankproof on. Tankproof is an amazing community organization. So that's where I'm going to start. And you guys are twins, so I don't care if it's Torrance or Truman. Talk to me about what is Tankproof and how in the world did you guys get started with this?
All right, first off, it's Thurman with a TH, like Thurman Thomas, think the Buffalo Bills football star. No, it's all good.
Thurman, I apologize, Thurman.
Hey, no worries, man, no worries.
People today have been calling me Franz, and I didn't say anything. So
you probably did that your whole life.
So Thurman, I'll never make that mistake again. Thurman and Torrance, talk to me. What is Tankproof? How did you guys get started?
So Tankproof is an organization that we started 10 years ago. And Tankproof really focuses on swimming lessons and giving food security to communities and kids who need it the most. We primarily started through the vehicle of swimming lessons 10 years ago. It started out as a crazy idea. We wanted to do something to give back to our community. By trade, we're creatives and musicians by trade. And so when the concept of swimming lessons came to our attention, we knew the stereotype. The stereotype was that Black people don't swim.
And so we did the research and we found that a lot of the numbers and a lot of things that we've been hearing our whole lives was backed up by actual research. So at the time.
So the research reflects that Black kids don't swim.
Yes, sir. The research reflects that people of color have low to no ability to swim at about 70%.
And so from there,
were they able to get to the source of why that is? Because I'm curious.
Yes. So it goes all the way back to slavery. It goes all the way back to the civil rights movement, the history and the things from this country specifically, but this is also a global issue. But specifically in the United States, it goes all the way back to those things. And so it directly traces back to today. And so if grandma don't know how to swim, mama don't know how to swim, most likely the child will not learn how to swim. And that cycle just keeps on perpetuating.
So our job is to break these cycles and to really create an opportunity for kids to gain confidence, gain a brand new skill that will change their lives forever.
So you guys find a need. You realize this is something that we could help the youth of our community with. Talk to me, walk me through, what do you guys do next?
So next, in that first year, we just leaned on our friends. We had
and I guess being artists, we know how to sell merch, right? So we were like, okay, so what can we do to raise money for this cause? It was just an initiative. It really got started. We were watching a Live 8 concert on VH1 years ago at our mom's house. And we were like, wow, that's so cool. These big musicians and artists and acts like the Maroon 5s, the Coldplays, the Beyoncés, the Jay-Z's, they were using their gifts and talents to positively affect the world through this benefit concert. So we're like, okay, with the small platform that we have, what kind of local change can we make? So like I said, we sat on it and swimming lessons literally popped up. And the idea was so foreign to us because neither of us are swimmers. And so because it was
Hold on. Time out. Neither of you are swimmers?
at the time, right?
Well, the difference is knowing how to swim and being a swimmer is two different things.
Two different
All right,
Yeah, of course we knew how to swim like most people, but as far as master classes, I'm not Michael Phelps.
Right.
I was going to say, like, I'm like an orca whale. I can get in the water. I can stay afloat and not drown, but can I swim? Probably not.
See, that's where I come in. I'm a swimmer.
She's a swimmer. But that was our story. So completely underqualified in a world that was
very niche,
very niche and very foreign to us. And we did what we knew how to do. We knew how to make some noise about stuff. So we sold tank tops to make kids drown proof. Put the words together. We needed a name really quickly for an interview, and so we're like, Tankproof, put it together. And so that was what was created, and now we're 10 years into the game. And
so I'll say in Baton Rouge in particularly, this wouldn't even be possible, especially early on, without buy-in and partnerships from a lot of local entities.
Yeah, shout out to Lamar Advertising.
Advertising, the Riley family. They really bought into Tankproof early on, saw what we were doing in the community and really invested in us. Shout out to Crawfish Aquatics. Before we even had our own team of swimming instructors, we were able to partner with Crawfish Aquatics to get this thing done. They had the same passion to make a difference in the community, and that was just a great partnership from there. So fast forward now, I'm gonna go, all right, so the first year we had a goal of doing 10 kids, we ended up doing 60. The second year we did 120, third year was 225. And so by year 4, we were thinking, okay, it kind of got getting weird using fiscal sponsors, because I'm like, hey, look, just write a check to this organization, and then I promise they'll write it back to us, and then we'll be able to serve how you're intending for your money to go. But, we're like, okay, this is an ongoing thing. It wasn't intended to be that way, but we're like, okay, let's be a good steward of what we have. I think we're at a position to where we can make a 501c3 a real nonprofit organization. So year 4, we became a 501c3. And then from there, we've just been growing. Now, fast forward to COVID, 2019. Boom.
And so I'm going to pass the ball to Savannah. Savannah is actually one of our new hires this year. Recent graduate from LSU. She can tell you a little bit more about
Not yet. I graduated in May, almost there.
She's like,
don't jinx me. I'm too excited. Forgive me.
Don't jinx me.
Yeah, let's hope. We got to get to May first.
Yes,
well,
but she's handling strategic partnerships for us, and so I'm gonna let her take it away from this.
She also has an interesting perspective because she has taught lessons with us in Baton Rouge and San Francisco. I'll get there.
Austin, Texas as well.
Texas. Yeah. And
So I've got to ask before you jump in, Savannah, where all are you guys present now? I mean, are you guys like coast to coast or?
Well, tell them what cities we're entering this year, Savannah.
So right now we're in Baton Rouge. That's where we started. With COVID-19 in 2019, 2020, we moved to Austin, Texas, and San Francisco, California, with the Bunkhouse Hotels. Shout out, they were a great partner and allowed us to expand from literally coast to coast. And so this year we're looking to get into Dallas, maybe LA, and maybe get all the way to New York.
Awesome.
So I jumped in with Tankproof. I was working at Crawfish Aquatics. They were blessed. That's where I was, doing lessons. And then, one of my peers was like, hey, you should come volunteer with Tankproof. And, I went for a week and we were in Gonzales. And it changed my life. It was so awesome to the experience. You just have to be there. That's what everyone was saying. It's like, you just go see, and the vibes, it's insane. You feel like you're a part of something bigger when you're at Tankproof.
So walk me through. If I am a potential Tankproof child, describe to me what qualifies me for the program and what I will experience through going through the lessons and the training.
I'll let Torrence answer that question a little bit. They have more of the logistics. I'm more of, once they're already there, then I can take it from there.
Right.
Well, we'll come back to you, Savannah.
Yeah. We have a registration process that we kind of refined over the years. And so in the registration, there's a questionnaire that says a simple question that lets us know the socioeconomic status of the family or the child that is applying for the
and
lesson.
asking it in a way that's respectful, in a way that's honorable, in a way that doesn't shame anyone. So the simple question that we put on the form is, does your child receive free or reduced lunch? If you say yes, that gives us a picture, not an assumption or a definite picture, but it gives us a general idea of, making sure that we can give these services to the kids that need it the most. And not saying that kids that don't get free lunch don't get our lessons. No, we serve those kids too, but we try to make sure that we always are serving the communities that need it the most.
So if you qualify, I would imagine the next component is a desire to learn how to be a good swimmer.
Yeah. I mean, the kids that come, I think a lot of them are excited about the idea, but when they get there, I swear the first day is like the first scene of Saving Private Ryan. There is screaming, yelling, kicking, punching,
vomiting.
I've seen just a little bit of everything on the first day.
They're either too excited to jump in, or they're hiding in the corner. No in between.
Yes. It's crazy. And this is a coast to coast thing. It's not just a Louisiana thing. Kids in California do the same thing. Kids in Texas do the same thing. And so it's amazing to watch a child who I like to watch the particularly scared ones on the first day. And by the last day, you can't get them out of the water.
Those stories
so,
are the best.
How long is the course for these kids? How long do they participate? And then I want to know some numbers as to how many kids do you have in the program total? How many kids have graduated? So walk me through, how long does the course actually take? And then give me some of the success numbers.
So the course actually takes, we have two different models depending on the amount of kids that we're trying to serve and the amount of, the student to teacher ratio. So for example, these sessions that we've been running last summer and this year coming up are going to be week-long sessions. So 5-day sessions. Instructional time will range between 40 to 50 minutes. And they will get in the pool Monday through Friday or whatever 5 days we designate.
And COVID has really, it's really provided us an interesting challenge. Going into 2020, we were really focused on scale and trying to get as many kids as we can, the numbers. But when COVID hit, we're like, wow, we can't facilitate safely as many kids as we thought we could. So what we did was we kept the quality the same, but we downsized our numbers, and so that we can still serve effectively and still give the highest quality swim instruction for these kids. So now our ratio is it's 2 to 1. Usually we don't really like to go over that, especially with COVID. We have protocols that we do for these lessons, like face shields.
Face shields in the pool.
Yes, according to the FDA, according to the CDC, basically being in a swimming pool is one of the safest places to be because you're literally bathing in sanitizer. Chlorine kills everything.
Even better if you're under direct sunlight, the heat kills it too. So it's a great activity and a great environment to get involved in. Yeah, oh my gosh, yes.
So talk to me about, all right, so total numbers.
Historical metrics. You mentioned the historical metrics. Yeah, so to date, we have been able to serve,
it's over 2,550 kids.
2,550 kids since our start in 2011. Yeah.
That is
amazing. And those are just the swimming numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. And these numbers are going to grow like crazy these next few years as the world begins to open up. So our plan is to continue to be active and to serve as many kids as possible and as safe as possible during this time.
So I would imagine another component of this, by nature of just the interaction between the instructors and the children, is a certain level of mentoring that goes well beyond the pool, right? So talk to me a little bit about that.
So we really don't teach swimming; we teach confidence. But I'll let Savannah kind of you
just taught a lot of kids.
I'm gonna turn my camera off and grab something real quick, and I'll be right back to explain this story.
Okay, cool. I'll start off a little bit there. Okay, so it's amazing to watch the bond that happens between a student and an instructor.
So if you can imagine, kids come in deathly afraid of the water. We have kids that come in sometimes that can't even put their face in. So if you can imagine, we have to take a child who has to trust this complete stranger who they've never met before with their life. And you're gonna make me do something that I really don't want to do and that I've never done before. And so I think just that thought alone, when we think about it, it just speaks volumes of the love and the effectiveness and the skill level of our staff.
We have certain character traits that we look for when we seek instructors, because the program is nothing without the instructors like Savannah. So I think it's perfect. All right, Savannah, tell us a little bit about your experience being an instructor, working with these kids hands-on up close.
So, the first day they're a little scared or they're really excited, and they're just chatting with you. They're like wanting to jump in. You're like, no, you got to sit on the wall. I'm not ready. I know you want to go. And you're really bonding with the child the whole week or 2 weeks. And as much as it's a mentor for them, it's also so amazing for me as a teacher. So what I went to go grab was when we were in San Francisco, at the end of the week, the children wrote cards and I have them hanging on my wall. I look at them every day. And this one, it just says, "Thank you for teaching me how to swim. You're my favorite coach." And he drew my name all funny. And it's like, he probably forgot this existed. But I look at it every day.
But
as
you
a reminder
will
of the experience.
never forget that exists.
And Savannah, I promise you, these kids remember. I just spoke to our nonprofit partner out there where the kids came from, and they're always asking, when is Tankproof coming back? We love swimming. We can't wait to learn again. Can we do it again? They're telling their friends about it. I want my friend to learn. And so, look, you are making an impact, and they do remember. And it's such a beautiful thing.
Yes.
So we're in 2021. We're in a COVID world. We get better. We go back. We got a vaccine coming out, or is out. Talk to me a little bit about what the trajectory for Tankproof is, with in mind that everything's up in the air in terms of COVID. Talk to me a little bit. We got about 5 minutes left, and then we're going to talk about how we can get in touch with you guys if we're interested in being an instructor, or if we're interested in getting our kids involved.
So this year we're attempting something really audacious and ambitious. And so this year we're going to have the Tankproof Tour 2021. And so what the idea of this tour is to have week-long activations in each city that we're going to be serving. So for example, we're going to be a week in Dallas, a week in New York, a week in LA, a week in Baton Rouge doing lessons, and probably another city in Louisiana as well. Going to be in Austin, Texas, and San Francisco a week there as well. Portland, Oregon as well. So the idea is I said week-long activation because we're going to show up giving more than just swimming lessons. Through COVID, we've had a chance to really expand the food-focused activations that we do in these communities. And by that, when COVID started, when kids weren't eating, by the end of it, we were optimized to really produce and really pass out about 4,000 meals a month. And so that side of our organization has really grown to become robust. And so that teamed up with the aquatic section that we already had has made something that has served our communities greatly. So not only are we giving a skill for life, I'm glad Tracy's here. I'm glad Chef is here so that you guys can connect. We got about 3 minutes left. Guys, if I want to get more information on how to support Tankproof, how to get involved in Tankproof, how to be an instructor, where am I going to go? Savannah?
So you can either email me at savannah@tankproof.org, SAVANNAH, or you can email hello@tankproof.org for more general questions about, signing up, getting involved as a volunteer, more community partnerships. If you want to partner with us or host us in your city, or more places in Baton Rouge, that would be to email savannah@tankproof.org.
Or if you want to write us a check,
that's really what I was kind of
hello@tankproof.org.
You want to follow us on Instagram @tankproof.
So Savannah's a very modest human being. What I was really asking was, where do we send the money? You fellas picked up on it. Savannah was like, well, if you want to be involved. So again, if you want to make a charitable donation.
If you want to make a donation, go to www.tankproof.org/donate, or you can just go to tankproof.org and you can see where it is to donate.
So,
and follow us on Instagram @tankproof.
Yeah. I was going to go there. They're on Insta. They're on Facebook.
I picked up what you were putting down this time.
Yeah. So
we also have a LinkedIn. Just throw that out there.
Yes,
I love
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Do have a LinkedIn. So I am not an ambassador of Baton Rouge, but I will thank you guys on behalf of our community for doing this wonderful thing. This is something that I every time I think about it, I just feel warm and fuzzy. It's just a good thing. I definitely hope that you guys connect with Chef Tracy while she's here, talking about feeding kids, maybe feeding kids some healthy food.
I wrote your stuff down.
I like this.
I love it. I love it.
I'm glad to see other people involved in food insecurity work. I have to get in touch with you guys.
Yes.
Yes,
So proud of the work
I
y'all
wrote down
doing.
your contact. I'll email you.
Please.
And look, guys, before we bug out, don't forget to visit Southern Kofi Coffee Shop. Tell Horatio you heard about them on the Geaux Rouge radio show. That way I can look at him and say, see, it's a good thing you're on the show, huh? Tankproof, Chef Tracy. Look, guys, appreciate you guys joining us today. We're going to stick around a couple of seconds after the episode on Facebook Live in case you guys have any questions. Look, you've been listening to the Geaux Rouge radio show. This is your host, Franz Borkart. I will be posting this episode on YouTube, LinkedIn, as well as some other stuff, as well as some other social media. For more information about the Geaux Rouge show, go to www.geauxrouge.com. You can definitely also follow along on Geaux Rouge's Facebook page. I love to post pictures of food and people doing stuff. I was at Kosher Restaurant last night. Oh my God, it was so good. California meets Spain, all fresh food. It was just, we'll talk about it at the break. Anyways, that's about it for this episode. We will be back next week. Tune in. We will have the behind the scenes folks at LSU, Louisiana State University, joining us. You don't want to miss that episode. If you like the page, if you like the show, let others know about it by sharing it. And with that, have a great week. We'll catch you next time. All right, we are out. All good. So I'm going to stop. So look, we're going to stick on Facebook Live for a second. Brian Haldane, from all of us, thank you for helping us out. So look, if you're on Facebook Live, I'm going to ask these kids to stick around for a minute or two just to see if y'all have any questions. Man, Tankproof going coast to coast. I mean, chef making food that's not only delicious but healthy. Scotlandville having a destination coffee shop. Man, good stuff's happening in this place, man. Good stuff is happening in this place. Well, it looks like the natives on Facebook are restful. So I'm gonna let you guys get back to your day jobs. You guys, thank you so much for joining. Thurman, not Thurman, Torrence, Savannah, Tracy, Horatio. God bless. You are all very much welcome. Anytime you want to come back and let me know if there's anything I can do. Facebook,
Thank you for
guys have a
having
great
us.
day.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye then.